Old
The
enough,
story
I
goes,
forgot.
the story goes that in the abbeys in Germany, around Bavaria, southern part of Germany, the guys were brewing the beer. The monks were brewing the beer, and they wanted to, use it for the fasting month because they're supposed to be fasting like Jesus fasted. So, and they had to have something to sustain themselves because they didn't not supposed to eat food, but they can drink. So they needed something liquid that sustained themselves. So they invented beer. Right? Beer is great. I don't know how these guys did it, but they did it. And I guess it's a lot more ogres and blue,
Ogre.
ogres and blue in there. A lot of barley and hops and stuff. All those grains go in there. So I'm sure they packed it full of that for the the grains and the sustenance. Anyway, the monks said, we need the Pope to bless this beer. So he made some of these wooden casks. I don't know how many, maybe 4 or something. And they buggied it down because, this is back in the 1800s. They buggied it down to good old Rome or what do you call it? The Vatican, right? To get the Pope to bless it.
I think it was well before the 1800s.
Probably, no, yeah. Actually,
1300s or
talking about
1200s or something.
1400s. Yeah, something like that, around the 1400s. Sorry. So again, ox cart or whatever, horses and carts and stuff going through Transylvania. I don't know. Just joking. But, it took them a hell of a long time to get down there, right? So by the time they got down to the Vatican and seen the Pope, and the Pope said, please dress, they brought out, big tankard of this beer to the Pope. And they said, please bless this beer for us for our fasting. And I said, oh, okay. So he tested it. But it tasted like shit because it didn't travel well over I don't know how many weeks it took to get from the Abbey down to the Vatican. So Pope was like, oh, it's so terrible. But
he said, the shits.
He basically said, if you want to eat, take this shit, I bless it for you. And he has a signed piece of paper and stuff, and he blessed it and all that, and stamped it, whatever. So they take it back, and it turned bad. So it was pretty bad stuff. But I guess the real beer is pretty good. But it didn't travel all the way down to Italy very well. But the Abbey today still has that letter from the Pope back in the 1400s to bless this beer as official religious beer, religious drink. So that's a real story. That's one of the first actual abbeys, one of the early ones. Like you said, 1400s, late 1300s. So yes, quite old.